Rain, rain, go away. A destructive storm tears through Muskoka. Prepare to get your haircut tomorrow. And take a trip back in time with Bobby Orr this weekend. All that and more coming up right now. Welcome to Cogeco News for June the 11th. I'm James Bowler with what's happening in your community. Well, it seems no matter where you were in Muskoka last night, you were definitely seeing some aggressive storm activity. But it seems the hardest hit area was likely Bracebridge. Repairs are underway after a massively destructive storm tore through Bracebridge during the early evening hours yesterday. In the covered bridge area, homeowners were cutting away trees, covering torn off roofs, and overall just assessing damage where some believe a tornado may have briefly touched down.
There was a pickup truck driving around the golf course, which is odd. You don't see that every day. And it was the owner of the golf course, Don, trying to get everyone off the golf course into safety. He was saying, you have about 3 to 5 minutes, this thing's coming. And then as we were sitting out there, we saw like it looked like a white wall and a sound like I've never heard before coming across the golf course. And then there's a pond here on hole number 6, and it was just throwing water from the pond. It was almost like a water spout, but throwing it. It was bizarre. And then obviously we ran inside and yelled at the kids to get in the basement because it was pretty crazy.
I was just out on the back deck and I could see it coming in and told my neighbor we better get inside, and we got inside about 2 minutes and I looked out and seen a funnel cloud, and then I seen the 2 pines at the back get split and get ripped off, and then I seen shingles flying.
The storm came in pretty fast and we're kind of watching those trees. Those dead ones that you see up there have kind of been a concern of ours, and all of a sudden the sky came down, so we found out it was rotting, and yeah, kind of turned into a bit of a day of work.
And a similar scene down on Boyers Beach Road, just a few kilometers away, where locals there say winds came screaming off Lake Muskoka and slammed into trees along the shore, which downed power lines and cut off access to a few residents. This man is assessing the damage of his truck, which is trapped by both the tree on top of it and downed power lines and trees on either side of the road. So the question is, was there tornado activity in Bracebridge last night? Environment Canada isn't so sure just yet.
Well, at this point, we don't have any evidence that it was a tornado that caused the damage. On the other hand, we think that at this point, it was a downburst. And so this is basically rain-cooled downdraft from the thunderstorm. And, I think tornado conjures up a lot of fear, but at the same time, downbursts can cause a lot of damage, as evident as what we see now. So today, especially. And on top of that, we had a reported gust of 102 kilometers per hour around 7:42 Wednesday evening at the Muskoka airport. So the damage will be consistent with the wind speed.
No matter what type of weather event it was, it certainly caused a lot of damage and havoc for local residents in Bracebridge, but luckily, no reported injuries. Well, it may not have been as hard hit, but some residents in Gravenhurst were still assessing damage following last night's storm.
It just really came out of nowhere. Like, we saw it swirling along the lakeside, and then my son started screaming, "Get into the basement," because things were flying off the deck. And so we ran into the basement. We could hear the trees cracking all around us, and it wasn't until a good 20 minutes later that we came up to kind of take a look, because we could see through the basement window that something had fallen, and you can see the damage. There's quite a bit of damage, but it was crazy. I mean, the roof has got some damage up there, but everybody's okay, so I guess that's the main thing, right?
Well, we were expecting it, so I put cages around all the peonies. I neglected the irises, so I see the buds were blown off.
Oh,
but the peonies did all right, but that beautiful tree is finished. That's too bad. And I was just saying to myself yesterday, I never saw our street looking so lush. And then boom. But it's nature.
hopefully my power gets on, so that's good. It went out and then it came back on and it was gone. So roughly around since maybe 8 o'clock last night, we've been without power. So
now dealing with that because
yeah,
fridges and freezers
and got my 12 to go cups from Tim Hortons, so I'm good.
It went out for a while, so we brought the solar lamps that you can see around the garden into the house. There was no batteries working in the flashlight, but the solar lights were fine. And then we went for a drive because we wanted to hear the news and we wanted to see how extensive it was.
Well, we didn't forget about the most important story that's still been affecting Muskoka. We've got COVID-19 information coming up after the break. Welcome back, and just a quick look at our COVID-19 numbers. The Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit is not reporting any new confirmed infections in Muskoka. The only confirmation we had this week was a woman in her 70s from Huntsville who was infected from within the community. However, it seems that infection has not spread any further at this point. Now, for those with loved ones in long-term care or retirement homes, it has been a long time since you've been able to have a proper visit. At his briefing this afternoon, Premier Doug Ford said visits will be allowed soon.
Today, we're announcing a cautious restart of visits starting on June the 18th to long-term care homes, retirement homes, group homes, and other congregate living settings that are not currently in outbreak. We need families to be able to see their loved ones. And today, we're taking the first steps to help reunite families, to help reunite loved ones.
In consultation with these sectors, we are resuming visitations under the following requirements. For long-term care homes, we are allowing one visitor per resident at a minimum of one visit per week for an outdoor visit only. Retirement homes will have outdoor and indoor visits, with the number of visitors being left to the discretion of the home. To visit, you must have tested negative for COVID-19 in the past 2 weeks. Pass an active screening questionnaire. Clean your hands when you arrive and depart with soap and water or alcohol-based sanitizer. Wear a mask and stay in designated areas and maintain physical distance.
A major piece of the tourism puzzle is back on the table for Muskoka, but there are some new policies in place that rental owners will need to pay attention to. Short-term rentals are now allowed to reopen in Ontario while the state of emergency continues to stay in place. That means options like Airbnb are now available for anyone to take advantage of, bringing more tourism opportunity back to Muskoka after losing a few prime spring-summer tourism weeks in May and early June. Good news, says Airbnb owner Jennifer Jarrett, who runs 2 rental properties in Huntsville, one at her home and one in the Hidden Valley area. She says she's very hopeful this will bring back a badly needed economic boost for local businesses.
It was the right time to open up Airbnbs and short-term rentals. I think that it will definitely help start our economy again. Definitely work with those businesses that are opening up slowly, bring people back into downtown, and really just give everybody the positive outlook that they need right now. We have seen bookings 2 and 3 times a day. People are booking, so people are eager to come up. People are eager to get out of the city. We're finding more and more staycations, so people are staying within the 2-hour mark of where they live. And I think that they really just want to get out and walk the streets again and, pop into a little mom and pop shop and make some purchases and just feel normal again.
But Huntsville has recently put a new stringent policy in place requiring all short-term rentals to be licensed with the town. It's a move that came into effect earlier this year and would have had more traction and attention had COVID-19 not hit. But Mayor Cara Terziano says whether they're aware of it or not, all Airbnb and other short-term rental owners in Huntsville must be licensed.
Now that the province has said short-term rentals, cottages, things like that are available to be open again, we are ramping up that program, and we have the word out to all short-term rentals that they need to get licensed by July 15th of this year. So either get their license in place or get their application in to the town. And it's pretty simple process. It's all online, other than the inspection. So it's an easy process to complete. We will, as of July 15th, based on complaints, do visits to places that aren't licensed, and we will ensure that they get a license. One of the reports I think that is coming to council on the 22nd is we want to get them licensed, but I think we'd be happy to defer payment to the end of the summer for their license. We don't want to make it hard for them financially because things already have been that way. We just want to see them get licensed and make sure that their accommodations are safe and are certainly within all of the septic inspections and things like that and building codes.
We are back to the break, but stay tuned for more after this. Welcome back. A salon owner with nearly a decade of experience in Muskoka is breathing a sigh of relief after facing down the biggest threat to her business she's ever seen.
The opening strategy was, well, they only gave us 4 days, so the opening strategy is a little bit not going to be perfect, that's for sure. We're trying to get service out to the customers as safely as possible is number one. So reviewing all of the health recommendations and make sure that we're in compliance, that was number one, right? So we have everything that we need to make sure that that can happen. And then the next part of our opening strategy was to just bring that awareness forward, right, on what to expect, because coming to the salon is super different now, right? I mean, masks, and there's some things that we just can't do, like we're limited on service. And just get everyone sort of looked after as best we can, as quickly as we can. It's been extremely difficult financially, laying off of staff. And now I can't really bring those staff back in because some of them are immune compromised. And even with the extra PPEs and all that, the risk is still too great for them. There's also a lack of childcare, right? Spaces that are open right now. Giving licensed childcare facilities 4 days in prep to open wasn't enough time for them to get all the regulations and all the inspections in place. That's totally unrealistic. So bringing those staff back in, they don't have childcare. You know, and even if they do have childcare, they're really reluctant. And I can't blame them because I've got 4 children. They're small. I'm still in that position, right? Where do I really want to send them? You know, is it really safe? There's all those questions. But we really can't financially absorb any more loss, right? It really becomes a very thin line, right? Do we close or do we have to move forward? That's it. We really do. And I think everyone feels the same, whether we're scared or not. It's really irrelevant, right? We have to go back to work.
Now, if you head over to our Facebook page, Your TV Muskoka, you'll find a very handy clip there just showing all the donors, all the salons and barbershops that are opening this week and next week. So you'll be able to see if your salon or barbershop is open or if another one is open that can take on your hair needs. We are going to take another quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. While donating blood during COVID-19 may not have been at the top of your mind, especially considering all the physical distancing restrictions in place, the need for blood donations never went away. Canadian Blood Services has now made some modifications to make it easier and safer for you to give blood. Melissa Candelaria from our sister station at Halton News went through the process herself and has this report. Take a look.
As restrictions start to ease across the province, the need to donate blood is increasing. Canadian Blood Services is hoping more people will come out to donate. Territory Manager for Hamilton-Burlington Region, Simrat Diol, says they had a great response when the pandemic began.
We got a lot of national response all across Canada, and our donor centers were booking out quite well. But right now the need for blood is rising. We're seeing that hospitals are starting to do elective procedures where blood is needed. So we're asking that donors come in as much as they can, for males every 2 months and for females every 3 months.
Canadian Blood Services is asking anyone and everyone to donate, especially those with universal blood type O negative. DOL says they have made changes to all donation centers to ease any safety concerns.
The two big things are that we're only doing now appointment basis, so we do not take walk-ins at the moment. That's just to limit the number of people that we have inside our donor centers. And the second thing that we did is a lot of wellness checks and physical distancing inside the donor centers as well. So when you first walk in, there will be initial wellness checks, which go through COVID questions, and you'll also be going through like a temperature check. And then when you're inside, you'll see that there's a lot more taping on the ground just to make sure that everyone is 6 feet apart at all times. Canadian Blood Services, our donor centers are places of wellness, and donor safety is our number one priority. So at all times we make sure that all of our nurses and staff and all donors coming in are wearing a mask at all time. That way we make sure everyone is safe.
Canadian Blood Services have made adjustments to many of their donation centers across the province to make room for more appointments.
We do have donor centers all over the GTA, all over Canada. So just go to blood.ca. You can type in your postal code and find the donor center nearest to you.
By the way, this is National Blood Donor Week, with Sunday being World Blood Donor Day. So what a perfect time to go and donate blood. All you have to do again is to go on blood.ca and register. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
And thanks to Mel for filing that report. It is important to donate blood when you can, so please consider doing that. Go to blood.ca to find out when the next clinic is coming up. This was supposed to be the annual Bobby Orr Hall of Fame weekend, but unfortunately it was canceled due to COVID-19. But that doesn't mean you can't celebrate the current members of the Hall.
Thank you very much.
This weekend we are airing induction ceremonies from 2011 and 2012 and the 10th anniversary held in 2013. These events have been a highlight for the sports community in Parry Sound. In 2013, Bobby Orr reflected on what the Hall and its members mean to him.
You know, I come back for the inductions, the volunteers, the people that do it should be getting the credit. I come back and do tonight, and then I leave tomorrow. But the folks that do it, the committees, they do an outstanding job, and I'm very proud to come back here for this event. It's something that's very special to me. My dad loved this place. He spent a lot of time down here. I mean, he'd be doing tours, and I would call my father and say, "What did you say?" "Oh, I'm going down. There's a bus coming in." But you know, I still have Pat and Ron are still here, my brother and sister, and I have cousins here and so on. So the community is still home. I love coming back. I wish I could come back more.
Now, so you're a defenseman, right? Are you offensive minded, or are you, like I was a very strong defensive defenseman? I didn't think about offense at all. What about you? What kind of a defenseman are you?
I like to play forward too.
Oh, good. I like this. I like this. And someday you hope to play for the Boston Bruins?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Your TV Bobby Orr Hall of Fame Marathon begins Saturday at 12 noon right here on Your TV.
Is that a hockey team?
What a great clip. Well, we are going to take another break, but when we come back, we've got Briar Summers with Muskoka on stage.
music elites. I'm back once again with your weekly update on all things musical coming to you online. It's time for another round of Quarantunes this week, which kicks off with Papa John Wooderick, also known as the fine purveyor of Mississippi Delta Plantation Juke Joint Blues. His soulful tunes will ease all your troubles, so tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. for his show on the Hunters Bay Radio Facebook page. And for more musical moderation, why not check out cover artist Jacob Pierce this Saturday at 7 p.m. This Aurelia-based artist will use his pipes and his electric guitar to play you anything from blues to classic rock, with a few requests sprinkled in as well. Head over again to the Hunters Bay Radio Facebook page for more details on the show. Once again, the amazing Barrie indie pop singer Megan Ann returns to the virtual stage, this time for the Essential Concert Series, a fundraiser for the Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital. With a flair for storytelling, Megan's unique sound has been compared to Amy Winehouse, Hayley Williams, and Halsey. Catch her show this Thursday at 8 p.m. on the Essential Concerts Facebook page. To keep the little ones entertained during this time, check out the fun, family-friendly, and educational songs by Bette Smith's Betty and the Turnips. New videos will be posted every week or so on the Gravenhurst Opera House Facebook page. The Mariposa Folk Festival presents its first ever virtual stage performance this week. Enjoy the groovy tunes of folk funk pop rock artist Julian Taylor and the jazz folk blues stylings of Kalina Raquel this Thursday night starting at 8:30 p.m. This National Arts Center performance will be streamed live on the Mariposa Folk Festival Facebook page. And Bands on the Bay Online, presented by the Stocky Center, continues next week. On Thursday, June 16th at 4 p.m., catch Tragedy Ann. Their unique braiding together of poignant storytelling, organic harmonies, accordion, singing saw, guitars, and ukulele will not disappoint. The show will be streamed on the Stocky Center's Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's all for now, but don't forget to come back next week for some more amazing virtual shows.
Great. Well, that's Cogeco News. For more information on the program, head over to yourtv.tv, and remember to watch us live at 5 Monday to Thursday next week. From everyone here at Cogeco News, thanks for watching.